All right, so the extra practice we'll do, I'm going to have a couple sample problems. We'll probably do 2 of them together, and then I'm going to hand out the worksheet. Okay, so the ones I'm going to start with, I'll kind of start with this first one, this 4x, and I'll say plus 12. Because colors seem to make things go a little bit easier. If I have the problem 4x plus 12, I'm going to break this apart into 3 things I'm going to work with. And I'm letting you know the second one is going to be the easiest one. So the first thing I'm going to have is I will have 4x. That's going to get broken apart. Then I will write this plus sign kind of in the middle just because I know that's what there's going to be. And then I'll have the 12. So I took this entire equation, this 4x plus 12, I rewrote it so that way I can spread it out. So that way I'm not going to get things bunched together. When they're bunched together, almost always you're going to kind of mix things up. I don't know about you guys, Thanksgiving meals, how do you feel about your foods touching? Your face is exactly what I was thinking. I don't like when my food touches. Like, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate a good cranberry sauce, and I really like stuffing, but cranberry sauce and stuffing shouldn't touch. Okay, so just like with that, these math problems, when we do these factoring, I want them separated just enough so that way they're not going to touch. We're not going to mix them up together. Okay? So I've got 4x plus 12. I'm just going to start with the 4x. This 4, I can break that apart. I'm only looking at the prime numbers. So if it can be 2, 3, 5, again, I'm looking for a number that's going to be unable to divide by itself anymore. So I had a 2 and then a 2. That's what 4 breaks into. And then this x is just going to come down all by itself. Realistically, when I break this stuff down, it's just saying 2 times 2 times x. If I did all 3 of these together, I would get 4x. I am done at that point. Okay, I don't need to do anything else. They're all prime numbers, and I'm done working. On to this 12. I'm going to break this apart into a 2 and a 6. 2 is as far as it can go, so I'm just going to rewrite it again. 6 can get broken down into a 2 and a 3. Every single one of these 2, 2, 3 is as low as they can go. They are all prime numbers. As soon as they are prime numbers, I'm done breaking things apart. Okay, for the sake of this class, I'm going to highlight some things so that way you can see what I'm doing, or circle some things. I need to find out what they have in common now. I know they have this 2 and this 2 in common because they have the exact same number in both groups, on both plates. I've got this 2 and this 2 in common. Okay, the one on the left has an x. Does the one on the right have an x? No, so I can't do anything else. If I am done with this plate, I'm using the Thanksgiving analogy for the rest of this. If I'm done with this plate, we're done with the problem. Because if it's not over here, it's not going to be, I can't start on the second one and look back. Okay? So now I'm going to combine all those circled things. All the circled stuff is going to go on the outside of the parentheses. So the stuff that was on the outside of the parentheses, I had a 2 and a 2. That was on the outside of the parentheses. Now I'm going to make that set of parentheses whatever was not circled. So like this, this, and this will all go in there in that order. So from this first side, there is an x. This plus sign is going to come down. This one wasn't left over, or it wasn't used. So I factored everything, I broke it all down, and now I start to put it back together. I don't multiply the stuff yet. I just want to write all the steps of the things I did. So I can't miss it, so I can look back just to verify I did it right. Once I have this step done, this 2 times 2 within in parentheses, x plus 3, close parentheses. Now I'm going to combine all those multiplication things. 2 times 2 is 4. The x is all by itself, so I'm just going to rewrite the x. There's a plus sign. There's a 3 all by itself, so I'm just going to write the 3. My final answer for that 4x plus 12, that stuff we have way up here, is going to be just 4, and then in parentheses, x plus 3. Making sense? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if that kind of followed what I did. Okay?
So basically, if you get to the bottom part, and if you distribute that, if it doesn't equal the top part, then you did something wrong.
Yeah, great point. I can double check my work. Just like Mr. Rohr was saying. I can double check it. To distribute, I'm going to grab a different color pen so you can see what I'm doing. So as Mr. Rohr was saying, I can distribute this over. I can do this one times that, and then this one times that. 4 times x is 4x, plus 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, I redistributed it. Is this the exact same as what I started with? Yeah, so if it is, we did it right. Great point. All right, I'm going to trying to find another tricky, I'm not going to say trickier one, but one that makes this work a little bit harder. All right, the next one we'll do is I'm going to choose, whoops. So here's my new problem. I'm going to choose 32x minus 15. That's the one I'm going to start with. So let me grab a different color pen so I can show you all how we're breaking things apart. Somebody talk me through. What's the very first thing I do when I have this? Think Thanksgiving dinner.
Break it apart.
Spread it apart. Perfect. We're going to spread them apart. We don't want those plates to touch. I've got 32x. I've got a minus way over here. I've got a 15 on this side. Fantastic. I broke it apart. Okay, now that it's broken apart, now what do?
You simplify down to 32.
Yeah, I'm going to factor this 32. I'm going to start to simplify it down to its prime numbers, that prime factorization. So 32, I'm just going to start breaking it apart. I've got a 2, 16, and then this x comes down. 2 is not going to change. 16 is going to get broken down into a 2 and an 8. And then the x comes down. This 2 is not going to change. This 2 is not going to change. This x is going to get broken down to a 2 and to a 4. X won't change. And then I'll do it again. 2, 2, 2, 2, and then an x. Okay, 32x. Factored out. I've got a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2, 2, and then an x. Lots of 2s. It's like a ballerina dancer. Because they wear 2 2s. I'm giving you gold. Gold on a Wednesday morning. I got nothing. All right. That part's done. Okay. I'm going to look at this minus sign. It tells me I just need to have 2 separate problems. Now I have 15. 15 can get broken down into a 3 and a 5. Can this get broken down anymore? No, we're good. If it cannot get broken down anymore, now I'm going to look and see what they have in common. So let me get a different color pen. So starting with this. This one has a 2 that I'm starting with. Does the other one have any 2s? No. So I got rid of all these 2s. This one has an x. Does this one have an x?
No.
Can I do anything?
No.
It can't be factored. So even though there's a lot of stuff that we did, and I want to show that you can factor a lot of stuff, this one can't be factored. Or we could just rewrite it again as 32x minus 15. Okay, last one I want to do with you is going to be, let me grab a different color one more time, is going to be 48 plus 24x. 48 plus 24x. First thing, what do we do? Austin? Spread them apart. 48 plus 24x. I love it. And then factor. You got it. Okay. I'm going to break this one apart into 2 and 24. 2 can't change. 24 gets broken down to a 2 and a 12. That won't change. So 2, 2, 2 and a 6, 2, 2, 2, broken apart into a 2 and a 3. My plus sign's still right there. I'm going to factor this stuff. Hopefully you've seen this 24 once before. I got 2 and a 12. X comes down. 2, 2 and a 6. My X comes down. 2, 2, 2, 3. I don't know why I wrote 6. Something's going on today. Okay, I'm at the prime factorization level. That's as far as I can go down. I'm going to grab a different color pen, to show you what I'm doing, to show what they have in common. Okay, I'm going to look at this first 2. Do they both have a 2? Yep. So I'll circle this one, and I'll circle this one. I've got another 2. Do they both have a 2? Yep. Circle that one, circle that one. This one has a 2. Do they both have another 2? Yep. Circle this one, circle this one. This one has another 2. Does the other one have another 2? No. So skip that 2. This one has a 3. Does the other one have a 3? Yeah. That plate's done. I'm done with my plates. I'm going to write down all the circled numbers in front. So all the circled stuff goes in front. I'll zoom
One
down.
plate or the other.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So I've got 2, 2, 2, 3. All of these are being multiplied by each other. Okay, I wrote down all my circled things. Now I'm going to write down whatever was left over. So this one had a 2 left over. This one had my plus sign. And this one had an X left over. Now that I wrote it like this, I'm going to combine all those terms. I've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. If you put that in the calculator, or if you do it in your head or on paper, either way, you're going to come out with 24. So you get 24, 2 plus X. On a scale of thumbs up to thumbs down, where are you feeling? A little better? Okay. I'm going to hand this one out. Fantastic. And then for all of you people